Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge Cooks, and today we're doing curry. It's been an interesting week. I've seen a lot of reaction to the Goldbridge Cook series on some social media videos, but I think they're missing the point, or maybe they're not, maybe they just enjoy it. But it's cooking for my kind of people, my kind of way, that's what it is. So we started off with a lasagna, we did fish and chips, and this week we're doing a curry. I love curry me, and not in the cliche way. Not in the cliche way that, oh, after a few lagers, let's go and have a curry. Give us the hottest one you've got. No, don't give us the hottest one you've got. Give me something I'm going to enjoy. I mean, look, not as mild as a korma. No point having a curry there. But a tikka masala, a rogan josh. I mean, I love curry. Whether it's, like I say, korma, no. Tikka masala, rogan josh, curry sauce from the fish and chip shop, even curry pot noodle. I like it. It's lovely. And we're going to crack on with it today. So this is a recipe I've been using for quite a while. I think it actually, shout out to Jamie Oliver. Ooh, controversial, shouting out Jamie Oliver. I don't like his politics, but I do like his curry and other things. But yes, so basically what we're looking at today is, obviously I've gone for a chicken curry. You could go vegetarian, but I'm going with the chicken in there. We've got a plate of stuff on here, which is 2 medium onions sliced, chilli, slice, as much chilli as you want, but don't go any more than one. But half a chilli, slice it, don't put the seeds in. A thumb of ginger, which basically means a piece of ginger the size of a thumb. You can chop it. What I do is I grate it, because I've got a really little nifty trick I'm going to teach you. A tin of coconut milk, a tin of chopped tomatoes, and some patak tikka masala paste, which you could make your paste yourself, but I can't be bothered. Just before we go over to the cooker though, I just want to say this. My chopping technique had people somewhat surprised last week. Look, whatever works for you and doesn't end up with you in A&E works for me. You can get knives, very expensive knives. Like, I know somebody who's a chef, and he said just after Christmas, which is good, because if he'd said it before he would have ruined his surprise. He said for Christmas the wife bought me these Japanese steel cooking knives. And I said, what are they for then? And he said, well, cutting things. I said, like what? He said, onions. And I was like, well, I've got a knife, I've got a 5 set from Tesco for £1. I got in the sales, and they still cut the onions the same. He was like, yeah, no, but these are like really high end. And I went, yeah, but you know what? The next door neighbour wears, designer clothes. He still looks a twat in them. It doesn't matter on the price of it. It's what you do with it, or who's inside it, not, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. We're heading over towards the kitchen. Time to spice up your life. Here we are then, we're back by the hob with my faithful spoon. And the first bit is get a casserole dish or a hob pan, whatever they call it. I don't know, you know what I mean, the things that the people have on the hob. Medium heat, and 2 lugs of olive oil, which to me just means 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which we'll put in there. Then what we're going to add is the chopped onions, 2 medium onions chopped into slices. Don't put the big lump of chilli in. The chopped chilli and the grated ginger. That's all going to go in. Sizzling hot, and we're going to cook that for about 10 minutes, or until it's all golden. But look at that, the sounds of that, probably messing up the audio a lot. But it just sounds and smells delicious. And I've got a little bit of a hint. It's a bit like a finishing move on FIFA. It's not in the recipe, but it's what I do. We're not at that stage yet. So, what's my history with curry? I've had quite a good history. I mean, I know some people who, they don't have a great history or future with a curry. They'll have a curry and the next morning they spend a lot of the time, you know where. But no, I've always liked a good curry me. So much so that I remember once I had some colleagues at work, and I was like, oh, we got on quite well. And I said, do you fancy coming round on a Saturday night for a curry? And he said, no, I can't. Well, we would like to, but the missus doesn't like curry. I went, oh, don't worry about it then. And he went, oh, should we rearrange? I went, no. If she doesn't like a curry, I'm never going to like her. And we sort of lost contact after that. But no. Love a curry me. And apparently it's the number 1, or it was the number 1 takeaway in the UK. Takeaway choice. Not fish and chips, which is a bit bland. Not Chinese. Nothing to do with lockdown. And I think it's Indian curry. But you can get Bangladeshi curry. Actually, you know what? It's excuse my ignorance, and you've always got to be careful with this sort of thing. We don't want any of the PC brigade saying we've trodden on their toes, but when I order an Indian, I don't really take much note of what the origins of the curry is, or the location. I mean, normally it's up the Alum Rock Road, but I mean, literally, where does it go back to? Pakistan and India are obviously close to each other. Geography bridge, and you know, is curry the Indian dish, or do they have curry in Pakistan? I know you can get a Bangladeshi one as well. That's one for the boffins, I suppose. Spice up your life. Spice up your life. Right, so we'll leave. There's no point in me hanging around here for longer than that. That's your onions. That's your chilli. That's your ginger. They're just on a medium heat. Stirred them up. Settle down. Let them go for a good 10 minutes, maybe less. Just don't let them burn. And then we'll come back. And the next stage is we'll be adding our meat. Yes, you heard me right, vegetarians. There is going to be meat in this curry, and I don't care what you say. If you don't want to eat meat, that's up to you. But this is a chicken tikka masala, and I ain't putting any of that synthetic stuff in. I've not been picking on vegetarians. I'm not. I've sorted it out. Hello everybody, and we're back, and onions and our ginger and our chilli are just about right there. So we're going to add in the chicken now, and we're going to add in the paste. Now, look, it's very easy to turn this from a look away vegetarians, you might get offended. This is chicken, just sliced up, 4 chicken breasts, sliced into pieces of chicken. I don't know what the diced or whatever, just 2 centimetre square bits of chicken. To be honest with you, whatever size chicken you want. Let's not be chickenist here in your curry. Whatever size chicken pieces you want. I wouldn't put a big slab of it in, but you've added your chicken in there, and now we're going to add in I love this. I mean, make your own paste if you want, but I use the paste that you can get in the shop. Tikka Masala spice paste, spice up your life. Half a tin of that. Look at it, lovely stuff. Absolutely, I love it. I love it. I'll tell you what. You can get this paste, and you can get some salmon fillets and just rub it all up and down, and then just grill them, and they're lovely. But yeah, going back to that, we're adding our chicken in, we're adding our paste in, and in all seriousness, if you didn't want to add chicken and you were vegetarian, you could add that instead of adding the chicken. You could, it smells lovely as well once that paste starts to mix in with the meat and the onions. Ooh. Anyway, back to vegetarians. You could not add chicken in, and you could add in, I don't know, instead of chicken, substitute it for something vegetarian. Maybe, an aubergine, a cucumber, piece of orange, an apple, whatever rocks your boat as a vegetarian, you could put that in. And away you go. Now that there looks great now. You can probably just about see it. A bit hot on the handle. Oh, a bit hot on the handle. That's cooking away there. And we will be adding in our tomatoes and our coconut milk in a moment. But we do just need to season as well. I mean, look. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade here. I've cooked a vegetarian curry before. Seriously, what could you use instead of the chicken? Aubergine's probably not a good idea. Sweet potato, carrots, peas. I like to chuck up, if I'm cooking a vegetarian curry and we've got vegetarians round, I'll slip a few bits of meat in there as well, just to spice it up. And then they'll always enjoy it. It's not, they'll say, "Oh, what's that?" And I'll say, "Oh, it's that, that chewy cheese you can get." And they'll go, "Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's chicken." I'm joking. You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't think vegetarianism is a religion, but they've got their beliefs. My daughter's one. You can't make them eat meat. They've got their beliefs. And to be honest with you, I sort of agree with their beliefs, because when you are actually cutting up meat, it is a bit filthy. And it does make you think where it's come from. A chicken. Let's call a spade or an egg an egg. A real chicken is part of this meal, and that's the thing about eating meat. Can you live with it? Can you live with it? But some vegetarians don't think it's right, and I think they're probably right, but we're making a curry. Okay, so we've added in that. I'm reading my menu here, not my menu, recipe book. Okay, so stir well to coat everything with the paste and season with the salt and pepper. I've done that. Add the tomatoes and the coconut milk. Coconut milk, tin of, in it goes, white. This is where we're starting to build the substance of the sauce now. And a tin of chopped tomatoes. Oh, and the tin's gone in as well. Phil Jones' hands. He's back again. And then give it a good stir. And already you can start to see this is, you know, it's going to be a lovely curry. It's going to be a cracker. It really is. Now, what they do say is that you can fill one of your cans up with water to make it a little bit more watery. But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a trick here. I'll tell you that little trick in a moment, because this is something you can do to really make it like a curry that you get from the takeaways, or if you get from a nice restaurant. But yeah, just talking about cooking as well for the moment, because that has to now bring to the boil, then turn the heat down and simmer for 20 minutes with the lid on. So we'll bring that to the boil. We'll bring it to the Susan. Anyone, you've got it. The old school Britain's Got Talent crowd's got that one. Bring it to the boil. Bring it to the Susan. Why is the heat not going up? Not really going up that much. Anyway, got to bring that to the boil. You know what? Obviously, I have a little bit of a rage when I'm playing FIFA or watching a United game when things don't go the way I want them to. But I was thinking about this the other week when I started doing this cooking stuff. I do not have a lot of luck with some things, and cooking is something that I really like. I like eating. We all, as I've said before, who doesn't like eating? People who are going to die because you need to eat. We used to do something called home economics. It wasn't in Scotland. I do a funny voice when I'm getting flustered. Home economics, which is basically cooking. I don't know why they didn't just call it cooking. Home economics. Somebody's made that up to try and, give a bit of razzmatazz to cooking. Home economics. What's that? Well, it's cooking. So we used to call it home economics, and every week we used to do something. And I think there was only one week where I actually took something home that you could eat without ending up in A&E. And it was a pasta thing. Basically, it was cooked pasta with chopped peppers, and sweet corn was in it. It was edible. Every other week I used to mess it up, and it's a shame. In those days, I don't think they even had camcorders, let alone, even Jeremy Beadle hadn't started his old You've Been Framed thing yet. But every week, I used to mess it up. I just do something. Because I never used to get any help with it. They'd give you the ingredients, and some kids had come in with their little Tupperware boxes, measured out, oh, I've got my 150 grams flour in that box. I've got this in this box, this in this box. And I'd come in with half a bag of flour, God knows what. And I remember one time we made this, I think it was meant to be a chocolate mousse. And we mixed it all up, and then everyone was tasting theirs, going, that's nice. And everyone tasted mine, it was bloody horrible. So I tasted it and I was like, oh, that's rank. That's absolutely rank. And I think being a kid, probably of about 14, you try and deflect it and you go, I'd rather eat shit. It was horrible. And ultimately what had happened is, because I'd been prepping it, instead of what I thought was chocolate powder was actually coffee powder. So I had a coffee mousse. Don't ever make it. It was disgusting. I always used to mess it up. Every week I'd mess it up. There'd be something I would do that would go wrong. So yeah, not a great history with cooking, but I like it. I like it a lot. So we're going to leave that for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes in fact. Bring it to the boil and let it settle. Baku again, Hello everybody, and we're back. So the curry is nearly done. It's done its 20 minutes. It's been simmering there with the lid on. We'll leave it at, let's pretend it's been doing 17 minutes because we've got a little bit to do here. We're going to do the rice. It's going to be turmeric and lemon rice. So you boil up your rice, you get your rice ready, and then we can create something here which will be really good. So again, another lug of olive oil, low heat, it's right in front of me. Another lug of olive oil, which is basically a tablespoon of it, or less. Decide what a lug is. A little bit of butter there, I don't know how much that is, but you can see from my hand. That's going to go in over a low heat. We're going to let that just bubble up a little bit. Right, I was just thinking about the chocolate mousse actually. I remember being in a pub in Ireland, and oh, what a surprise! I was in a pub in Ireland. Who's it? That's really shocking. Yeah, I was in a pub in Ireland, and that was a really low heat. It's starting to smell. In a pub in Ireland, Smith's, Malahide, nice place, and I had a white polo, Ralph Lauren polo shirt on, short sleeve, and not showing off the guns. I don't really have any, but they had my back sort of to the walkway. We were sat at this table, you know, like a sort of barrel table where you sat on a stool. So I was out there anyway, and the next thing I know, this waitress goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!" And I never felt it, but she dropped this tray of stuff, one of which was a chocolate mousse, and she starts going, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!" And then another waitress comes along and says, "Oh no, unbelievable!" And the girl I was with at the time comes round and starts laughing. And basically, I said, "What are you laughing at? You know I hate being laughed at." And they said, "Yeah, she's dropped that chocolate mousse, and most of it's gone up your back." I said, "I can't feel anything." She said, I said, "Is it bad enough to go home?" And they were like, "No, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine." And it was the days before you had like camera phones and that. But effectively, when I got back, it looked like someone had a dirty protest on my back. But what I was told by everybody in the pub, "Oh, it's not that bad." I mean, of course they were saying that because we were only on our starter, and I carried on to have a main and a pudding and a couple of pints and a few pints as well. Basically, I stayed in that pub with shit up my back, or what looked like shit up my back, for a good hour and a half, when realistically, if I'd have known and somebody had a camera phone and shown me, I would have walked out. And the worst thing about it is, they said, "Oh, we're really, really sorry, we'll pay for your dry cleaning." Didn't even get a free dinner. Disappointing, Smiths of Malahide. And I never did get it cleaned either. Ruined it. Chocolate mousse all up your back. Sat in a busy pub. Imagine the amount of people who kept walking past going, "What's his problem? What's he done in that shirt?" Tell you who I'd like to have. That's bubbling up nice now. Tell you who I'd like to tip chocolate mousse over their back. Piers Morgan. I'm tempted to say curry, but I don't want to burn him. I just want him to look. And actually, I think it would be a statement for Piers Morgan to have chocolate mousse all up his back. It's sort of symbolic. Maybe chocolate mousse all over his face and front as well, to signify the shit that he spews out of his mouth. But yeah, I thought he was, he's a 50-50 person, isn't he? Old Piers. But I think this lockdown has basically turned him into the people's prime minister, but he's elected himself. Look, I'm not going to teaspoon of turmeric for this. Turmeric's very nice. So, oh come on. Yeah, he's self-proclaimed people's prime minister, and I think with Piers, you know what? I've always sort of defended him a little bit because he's sort of a 50-50 merchant, isn't he? He gets half the things right and half the things wrong. But I think with lockdown, he's just become obsessed. Like, "Oh, no one from the government will come on the show. It's not on." Well, maybe they just don't want to talk to you, Piers. You don't, just because you work for mainstream media, you don't have the right to, people can say no, and you are quite rude, obsessive, and on one side of the fence. And subjectivity is quite good. But there you go. I'd like to chuck chocolate mousse all over the back of Piers Morgan, and not for a fetish reason. Right, okay, so I've added my lemon zest and my turmeric into the olive oil and butter, which was bubbling up. Season it as well, and what you're trying to do here is create a paste that I'm then going to mix my rice into. So that's cooking nicely, and once that's become a paste, so it's turmeric, quick recap. I love you really, Piers. I don't, you're an Arsenal fan. Quick recap, butter, lug of oil, get it bubbling, then add in your turmeric and your lemon zest, a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 lemon grated for your zest, around the edge, that's the zest. Stir it all in together with a bit of seasoning, and once you've got a paste going on, we're going to tip our rice in and stir it through that, and you'll end up with like a yellowy coloured rice. So that's nearly a paste, but it's not quite. Let's taken a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but it's heating up. And once that becomes a paste, the boiled rice that I've boiled, I will stir through it and we'll create a lovely yellowy paste, yellowy rice, which will then go with the curry, which I'm going to show you the final product of. And there we go, we're there, look at that, lovely stuff. I've just knocked my naan bread into it, but you can see the nice yellow texture of the rice. I've put some almonds on the top of the chicken tikka masala as well. Some nice sundries on the side, a cucumber eater, mango chutney. And yeah, look, I did actually get something a little bit wrong. I said I was going to pimp my ride a little bit, and what I was going to do is I was going to blend up the sauce so that it's like a takeaway or a restaurant, but it was a bit difficult with the chicken in. So if you want to do that, just take all your chicken out with a spoon so that you're left with your brown sauce, put a processor in it and just blend it all down, and then put your chicken back in, and then you've got a texture like a takeaway. But as you can see with mine, I've still got all the onion and everything unblended in there. And the rice, as we showed you, just add the rice into that little thing I was doing on the hob, the old the lemon zest and the butter and the olive oil and the turmeric. You stir your rice in and then it becomes yellow like that. Lovely stuff. And there you have it, the hat trick. We've done lasagna, we've done fish and chips, and we've done curry, and it's there. And the nice thing about a curry is you can have a nice beer with it. And I'm not condoning drinking. I mean, actually I am condoning drinking. It keeps you alive, it keeps you dehydrated. But I'm not condoning alcoholic drinking. A nice beer with a curry is nice, but you can get alcoholic beer as well as non-alcoholic beer. Got that the wrong round. You can get non-alcoholic beer, or you could just have a glass of water. Look, different drinks for different moods at the end of the day. But get in the comments what you want me to do next, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe to the video, and or the channel, that will work, and enjoy.